everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a get ready with me because today I have a photo shoot, which is just basically more photos for Rajine the Queen Artistry, headshots for work, stuff like that. It's like professional photos. So I've been wanting to get shot by the photographer for a while, so I'm really excited that I can actually get this done. And I have my mom's bachelorette party to go to, so it's just like an all-in-one special. Because I already said that I want to get more intentional about what I post on my channel and actually showing you guys what I do instead of showing you guys what I do instead of telling you guys what I do. So excuse my hair. So I'm just gonna, like I said, get ready with me. So I stretched my hair, so I just took out my braids because 4C hair, like my hair is longer than it actually looks. So I want it to be like really big and voluptuous for my pictures, to look cute today. So this is just like the before. So I'm just gonna talk and just so you guys get to know me a little bit better. This is gonna be like why I became an artist type thing, so stay tuned. So I guess I could just start by basically why I became an artist. So that's like a story in itself. So I'm gonna make it quick, not super long and lengthy, because I can tend to be long-winded sometimes, but some people like that. Some people are just like, Rajine, you talk too much. But so originally, going back to my childhood, I've always been a very artistic person. I've always loved drawing. I remember my first memory of like really being interested in like actually having people tell you that you're a good artist was when I was like back in school, was an after school program. And I remember I was like tracing something, like drawing something. And I remember like all the kids coming up to me, even the teacher saying, wow, Rajine, that's really good. Like they were like really impressed that a second grader, was tracing stuff, was like drawing things. So I'm thinking like, oh, wow, really? Like this is easy. So I've always been very artistic. I've always loved drawing. Like I love doing like art projects at school. Like elementary school was the GOAT for those. Well, mine was. We always did like fun art projects that I really liked doing. It was super fun. I just love being creative. So I just really always been that way, because everybody asks me, so how long have you been an artist? And I always say, well, I've always just been a creative person. So flash forward through, the school system. Oddly enough, I failed art when I got into high school, because I feel like in the school system, or the school that I went to, art was like very stifled. It was very much the still lifes, landscapes, drawing animals type stuff. And I hated that. I'm just like, oh, I hate this. I'm thinking like, oh, I must not be a very good artist if I'm not good at that. And I don't like drawing that type of stuff. It was just a really bad experience. I just hated art growing up through school. Like I really did. But the crazy part is I would draw religiously during my other classes though, especially math class. Like I still have all of my drawings that I did in high school that I did during math, which is crazy. And I actually did like an art piece on that. And that's on my website, my past artwork, if you want to check that out. It's like a collage. But I hated art class. And I just remember my experience being in art. Like I was a very good artist. But, just dealing with the teachers, I went to an basically all white high school, and they just already made assumptions about me, which I didn't like either, that I didn't realize when I was younger. But, when you get older, you realize that, wow, like, I guess, like representation and who teaches you really does affect you. Like my art teacher just assumed that I was failing class. It wasn't from her doing. It was because, oh, I must be having trouble at home. The poor black student must be having trouble at home, and just assumed that my mom didn't have a car. I'm like, still to this day, I'm thinking like, where would she get that from? Like, and the gag was, I was there before class started in the morning. My mom dropped me. Okay, I digress. But I just never liked art. So I always thought, okay, art's not my thing. That's not something that I can do as a career. That's not anything I make money off of. So flash forward, I graduated high school. I did my generals at a community college and then transferred to a university. Flash forward to Amber Hill. Sorry to take a break. So I transferred to the University of Minnesota on the communications track. I was really excited. So I have a twin sister, so we are both on track for communications. And it was like a really rough transition into like 2017 when I did transfer to the U, because like this was my first time living on campus. Even though I still lived in state, I wasn't that far away from home. It was just like a huge transition from not living at home, from being being in college, being university campus, just having more freedom than I was never used to having, because I will say I was sheltered growing up. So, just having that sense of freedom I was very excited about. But also, if you're a dog lover, my dog Reese died, that like literally a couple weeks before, like a month before we went to school on campus. That was really big blow, because it was a lot, because I was like the first, I will say person, because he's my heart, like the first person that I've lost, or thing I would say that I've lost that was very close to me. And then he died from diabetes. So just going through that, taking care of him like literally deteriorating before our eyes, basically. Like, he was a family dog. Everybody loved Reese. When he passed, everybody came to the vet to say goodbye to him. So yeah, it was like a really big transition. I was sad. I was heartbroken. Like, let me tell you, like, I had that dog since I was like in 3rd grade. So he was my heart. Like, Reese was an OG. Like, even talking about him right now still makes me tear. Like, I'm not even joking. That's how much I love that little dog. But and then I had my other dog, Cupcake, which was his brother. Cupcake was a little youngin' back then. Now he's 12 and he's sitting on my bed. He's asleep. But I was just thinking, like, I just lost Reese. Then we can't bring Cupcake with us on campus, so now we're not gonna see him. And my mom said, yeah, we'll just right out this semester, you can get him like the next semester when you get another place that allows animals. So that was a really hard transition, I'm not going to lie. And then going to campus, and when you do your, I'm going on a tangent, but when you do your registration, because me and my sister transferred in the middle of the year, so the spring semester, which starts in January. So all the good classes were taken already by everybody else who went there, because they already chose their classes like way before us, because the classes open up like in November. They already chose their classes, so basically we get the reject classes. That's what I thought it was. So I'm on the communications track, so basically they're lining us all up, everyone who's transferring there, because they have like a huge orientation day. And they basically have all these pre-assigned counselors to us, and we're basically going into rooms, and they're choosing our classes for us. It wasn't that, they say you can choose it, but it's like you only get 2 choices. It's either Shakespeare, whatever, or something else. And he was trying to sign me up for all these Shakespeare classes. I'm thinking, like, I just got out of high school. All we did for like the whole 4 years was do Shakespeare stuff. I was beside myself. Like, I was like, A, I'm leaving home. B, my dog just died. C, I'm leaving my other dog behind. And I already hated the apartment we were living in. So it was just a lot. I said, you know what? This is a mistake. This is a mistake. I'm leaving. So I literally got up out the office. I went all the way back. I walked all the way back from West Bank. If you're from Minnesota, you're familiar with the University of Minnesota campus. So meanwhile, everybody, like all the parents and everybody were waiting in Kaufman Hall, which is on East Bank. Why did my behind walk all the way from West Bank? I think it was Blagan Hall. It was Blagan Hall, Blegan or Blagan, however you want to pronounce it. It was Blagan Hall. I walked in the middle of January, cold as I don't know what, across the bridge, back to Blagan Hall. I said, Mother, I'm ready to go. She's like, what happened? I said, I'm done. I'm ready to go. And oh my gosh. And then even on my school ID for that semester, I looked like a mugshot because I just looked too through. It was just so bad. But fast forward, we ended up getting another counselor to help me and my sister out to be able to choose our classes. She was extremely nice, and she was the GOAT. Like, she helped us choose our classes. So it was communications based classes. So fast forward through the semester, I did not like communications at all. I thought the classes were incredibly boring. Like, meanwhile, my sister was doing pretty well in the classes. It was just a really big transitional phase for us, like we met new people, we were making friends, but still it's just a big transition. And I just realized, like, I did not like communication, thinking like, what did I sign up for? I feel like I'm just floating right now. And I guess like everyone experiences that when you go to college. Like, you always feel like it's gonna be one way, and then it's completely different. Like, you just get drained, you get burnt out. And then basically my family told me that you should just major in art. I'm thinking like, what am I about to do with art? Like I'm thinking like, I want a job after I get out of college. Like that's what I was thinking. Like I can't do art. Like what am I supposed to do with that? But then I just said, you know what? Basically just F it. Let me just do it. Let me major in art. So that's what I did. I majored in art, and I'm so glad I did that because I'm just so glad I did it, you know, because it really, without majoring in art, I would have never came to where I am today and got the experiences that I've gotten today. So when I majored in art, you know, you take the basic drawing 1, drawing 2, stuff like that. I never really had a focus. Like some people when they go to school, because like the U of M is not really an art school, but they do have like an art degree, so I really didn't have a main focus. I guess my focus was drawing, because the class you start out with is either drawing or painting. So since I chose drawing, that was like my focus, I guess. So I chose drawing, and it was great because I had an instructor. My first day, I'm looking around like, where's the teacher at? Where's the teacher? Meanwhile, the teacher was right next to me, and I'm thinking, oh wow, like that's my teacher. And she looked like a student, but she was a teacher, and she was BIPOC at that. So I was like, because she was a biracial woman, and right now, looking back at it, she was probably my age back then. So I'm thinking, wow, like I thought I was shocked because I never had a teacher who was of color. Like I've had teachers who are like not like actual teachers, like, you know, assistants, stuff like that, but I've never had a teacher who was a teacher of color. So that was very, very impactful for me. And so I was like, oh my God, like she looks so young. I'm over here thinking that she was one of our peers. She's super cool. We're actually Facebook friends now, but like she was super cool. I'm just like, okay, wow. But still, you know, like drawing 1 is all about still lives and drawing stuff I do not like to draw. Like I do not like copying things from real life, you know, like I'm just not one of those people. Like if I copy something from real life, it's not gonna be like proportional, or it will be representational, but it's not gonna be something that's gonna be like realistic. And I don't like drawing in realism, and that's one of the things that basic drawing tries to teach you, is like drawing in realism. I hated it. Like I passed the class, but you know, like I'm not about that. I do not like it at all, but I enjoyed it. And so during that time, people came in talking about internships and things, and they were talking about this internship called HECUA. And honestly, I'm not sure what the acronym stands for, and I don't want to botch it by trying to pick it up off the top of my head. But they said, hey, you know, like we're from HECUA. We have all these different cohort programs that you can do for an internship. And I'm thinking, I want to do that, because nowadays you can't just go to college and expect that you're going to get a job off the bat. Like all these jobs nowadays, they want you to have 15 years of experience straight out of college. You're just like, how am I supposed to get that? And that's because they want you to build all these skills during college. So they're gonna be like, what would you do for the 4 years? So that's why I knew it was really important to do like an internship, because I really wanted to go abroad, but the way my bank account is set up, that was not about to work, because school's already expensive. Living on campus and then paying to go abroad for a semester, that's way too expensive. So that's why I chose the internship route, even though the internship was expensive. But doing that internship at St. Paul Neighborhood Network was like the groundwork I needed. So St. Paul Neighborhood Network is like a media access station. And I say this to say because this is like how I became an artist. So, okay, so trying to condense it, not to go on a tangent. I don't want this video to be too long. But basically, I did that internship. It's like a media access station that helps people teach media literacy, teaching them how to create their own videos, edit their own videos, create their own programming. Basically, giving people who usually don't have a platform. So that was a really fundamental internship for me, because I learned so much from there. And I'm actually still a member at SPNN. Like SPNN is cool, it's the GOAT. I actually use a lot of their equipment while I was filming my documentary, Black Childbirth. If you've not watched that, please go ahead. It's on my channel. That was a grant-funded film from the Science Museum of Minnesota. So I'm very proud of that project, because I made the first video, my student film, from SPNN. So I have both of those. I have my Black Childbirth film on my website, the first one, and I have my new one on my website and also on my YouTube channel. So please check those out. but it was very fundamental. And then once again, I had a Black woman teaching me the ropes who worked there. So that was just all this representation is what I literally didn't know I needed, but I needed. I'm seeing like another Black woman who's holding it down, who's in charge of the media there, just creating all these programs. I actually worked with her on a lot of the programs that she did create. So that was just amazing. Just seeing all these Black and POC individuals, like it was just really fundamental for me just become an artist. I'm just like, wow, like people are actually doing creative things like this as a career that I had no idea. And it was a nonprofit. So I had no idea what a nonprofit really was. I just thought people work for free there, but no, you do get money working in a nonprofit. You do get a salary, you do get benefits. So people just have that misnomer that if you work for a nonprofit, you make no money. That's not the case. Yes, the money comes through grants to run the nonprofit and donations, but you do get money. So that's that on that. But I learned a lot there. I learned like all my media skills, my editing skills, and I still work with SPNN for a few other projects. I did a media spotlight project that's also on my channel. I think it's on my channel. I don't even know. I don't even think it is on my channel. I need to put that on my channel. But I'll be sure to like try to link that, so if you guys are interested, you can watch that. But it was really fundamental for me as an artist. And then also during that cohort, it really made me realize that I love visual art as well. Like I really missed work, because like during that whole internship, that was basically what all my classes were, was just doing that whole cohort. So that was my whole semester. And I really miss doing art. I really did. I miss visual art. I miss drawing. I miss just having that time to myself, because a lot of the cohort was like group work. And as an artist, unless you're like an artist that likes to work with other artists, other people, like collaborating, I'm not one of those. Truthfully and honestly, like I'm not one of those people. Like I like creating what I want to create, just to have that time by myself to be able just to make what I want to make. So a lot of the work in this cohort was teamwork, group work, and I was not a fan of it. I really liked working by myself and just creating my own narrative and creating my own stories. So I really, really missed creating artwork. So when the cohort was over, I really, really started getting very serious into my visual art. And then I was invigorated because we had our film screening at the end of it, and the film I chose, Black Childbirth, my student project, everyone loved it. And it was a near and dear project to me, because my sister-in-law was pregnant at the time with my nephew, and this was like my first film that I made. I basically taught myself how to use this editing software. I was nervous about it, and then I guess that's when my family really saw me come out of my shell, because they just thought, oh, Rajine's shy. Like, I'm not shy. People think introverted people are shy, but no, I'm just like, right now I'm talkative. So as introverts, we only talk when we have something to say, like we're not just gonna talk just to talk, to be like, hey, I talk, look at me, I'm talking about that. Like, yeah. So that's when my family said I came out my shell, and I feel like that's when I really stepped in my comfort zone as well. So when you're an introvert, you really have to push yourself to do that. So I really came out my shell during that time, and everything just started coming into fruition. So after, I got really great reception, just from my film project and just doing things through my internship. I was, really invigorated to start doing my art again, like drawing again, painting again. So I took the leap, and I remember sitting there. So like, this was like really my biggest, like this was what helped me be on the trajectory to be an artist. I was sitting there, I think it was like my last day of my internship, or like the last week or so. And I know it was like before Christmas, and I was just sitting there. It was a really nasty, snowy day, and my school through like I don't know what it was, but I think it was like students were putting on like a show, like an artist showcase, and they were looking for artists to like be in the show. And I'm thinking, wow, I should do this. I was thinking, I really don't have art at all. I didn't have any art, anything, that was, to me amazing. But I decided to apply. It was a big leap, it was a big step, it was putting myself out there, because that's how I feel now. Like I always put myself out there, And a lot of the things I don't get, but out of the things I do, I'm very proud and very thankful of that I received the opportunity. So with that, I applied and I heard back, I think, in January, or was it? No, it was February, about getting accepted in the show. And I was like, oh my God, I made it. I got into an art show, an artist showcase. So I just said, you know what, I want to do this. So I created 3 pieces for that show that have now all been sold or donated. And those pieces are actually on my website. So it's called Blueprint Productions. I made 3 orishas, a triptych, and those to this date are my favorite pieces that I've ever made. Like, they're up there with that. Yamaya was one of my most favorite ones. Yamaya was actually donated to a teen health center here in Minnesota. It was I wanted it to be donated to also like raise awareness about, you know, sexual health and everything like that. So I actually put her in that show, and then one of the people who worked there really loved Yamaya so much, like, hey, instead of, you know, picking the piece up, can we donate this piece and then one of our employees can have it? I said, you know what, yeah, why not? Sure. Because Yamaya at this point was just sitting in storage, because I really don't hang up my art. I don't. Like, the only piece I have hung up is that one right there in the center. That was like one of my first art pieces that I made. It was for like a Coca-Cola challenge project at the U. I didn't win, but I was actually there when people were looking at the art, and people kept saying, oh my God, that's so weird. I'm like, thank you. Because, you know, everything else that was there, it was just like, I don't want to say it was basic, but it was basic. And people really liked what I made. I was like, you know what? Like, that's my style. That's my aesthetic. Textured 3D elements. And that's what I've been doing these past like 4 years, is doing art just like that. So like, that was like one of my first art pieces that I made. So that's why I still have it. I have not sold it. I adore it. So yeah, so just doing SPNN, just really valuing my visuals art side, just drawing and painting. I did that. That was really fun to do. Really fun to make those 3 pieces. And a lot of the stuff I made back then has sold, you know, it has. And I'm just like, and it's just so shocking that people actually buy my artwork. Because when I was making most of this stuff, especially my prints, I made most of my prints during art class in college. And I just made it just to make it. Like, I would watch my Netflix and I would just draw. And who would have thought, fast forward like a year or 2 later, people will be buying them. And it's really I don't know. It's just really humbling, and it's like gratifying that people actually do buy your artwork. Because people always say, oh my gosh, as an artist, you're not gonna make any money. But, you know, it's really cool that people actually buy my artwork. They really like my artwork. People always have nice things to say about it. You know, I get all these opportunities, and it's really nice. So hopefully I explained how I became an artist. But just basically, SPNN was my launching pad, and just really wanted to explore my artistic side, making and creating artwork. And then most recently, you know, I already know, like, because I want to be like, because I am a practicing artist, and I know one of the things I wanted to have was a grant. So I applied for a grant and I got it, and I actually got help from a professional grant writer. She's amazing. She's the GOAT. So I worked with her to get my grant for Black childbirth. That was amazing. So, you know, I'm just really working, just putting the groundwork to be an artist, or to be I always said be artist. I am an artist. But and then also I'm a teaching artist now. Cause last year I got my first glimpse of being a teaching artist during the pandemic, and I really enjoy teaching youth, especially youth that look like me, because I know how important representation is. Because representation means a lot. Like, I didn't realize how much it meant to me until I got into college, where I actually had teachers that looked like me. Like, I had 2 Black teachers. I had a lot, but my art teachers were Black, and that meant a lot. I was like, wow, I have all these Black people who are teaching, who are artists. It was humbling. I really liked it. It was just nice seeing people that looked like you that were teaching you, and I never really had that. So now I know, like, representation is extremely important. Just in general. So I like teaching art. I like teaching art to kids that look like me, especially. And I've done a few of those art sessions. I'm doing one now with youth in Brooklyn Center. So it's just like really just gratifying. I love teaching art to kids, especially, and I love being a teaching artist. I've been doing a lot of things with that. So hopefully that explains how I became an artist. And I'm not trying to make this video so long to where it's just about me rambling. So that's just an overview of like my I guess my backstory. So if you have any other questions and you want to know more, then I would say go to my website. I have a lot of information there just about who I am. So it's just like a little tidbit, a little glimpse, a little taste. Yeah, what else was I gonna say? So that's enough of my rambling. I'm just now gonna start doing my eye makeup because I don't want to be late, and I already took a lot of time talking. But one thing I did notice, my eyebrows, they look good. Okay, like how is it that when I'm over here talking that my eyebrows look good, but the other day when I did my makeup, my eyebrows were distant cousins? Like, I'm not even joking. So how is it that my makeup is just, my application is just been going so smoothly? I guess it's just because I'm not like super focusing on doing makeup. I'm just like talking, I guess, which is weird. Like, I need to start just talking to myself on the basics, like doing my makeup, because I'm just like, because I was worried, it's like, this is gonna take forever, but no, it's actually taking like a good amount of time.